I'll be as sweet as pie tomorrow. Oh, you know it. You know I'm gonna manipulate the out of you, and you're gonna eat it up, and you're gonna watch me. Mask off. Sorry. You just bragged about manipulating your audience. Only the losers of the audience.
Hello teacups, what's brewing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Apologies if I look like I've spent a full day at work and had kind of a hard one, because that's exactly what's happened. It is currently 8 p.m, but I thought I'd try and get the react out if I could. I've cut down some of her 4-hour live. Spoiler alert, she is actually live right now, something quarantine bees something. But I took the work to cut this down, so I'm leaving it here. So we've got this down to about 11 minutes, just under. The So About the Weekend react. I have prefaced this video with a clip from my last clip show because it's going to be relevant later, but I'm focusing mainly. I know she came up with a lot. I know there was talk of her falling pregnant a couple of times and that kind of thing. I haven't included that in this video. I'm really focusing just on the excuse for the hotel. I'm sure if you've been in the community, you know about the person who was calling around rather creepily to confirm the hotel, which I don't agree with, but so long as the information exists and is out, okay, it's interesting information to have. So Foodie is now trying to do damage control, which she's not been great at if we look at her history in the last few days, or indeed the last few years. But this is her story for the wheres and the whys in the hows, and I've just cut it down a little bit and we'll get into it, okay?
It was all a dream. Finally addressing stuff I see, yes. God forbid I'm entitled to any privacy in my life.
I did, that's the only swear word I blocked out, just because I wasn't sure how soon into the beginning of the video this was gonna be. And I was like, YouTube gets very, very touchy about you dropping any big bombs in the first few minutes.
Harassers. The only reason I'm talking about this is because I have to.
She does not have to. No, she does not. Even caught red-handed, she does not have to, because she's choosing to. Because we're not forcing her. We may ask her questions. This is not beer, by the way. This is a raspberry lemon kombucha. Kombucha? I always want to say kombucha. It's not correct. I haven't done the usual coffee today because it is a little bit later. I've never tried kombucha. People always mention it. I'm like, oh, I should give that a go. Gut health, etc. But the brands I always saw in the supermarket were always really high in sugar, it seemed. This one is low in sugar. It's Low Bros Living Drinks, but it's only about 15 calories per serving. So I was like, okay, the serving is the bottle. Thought I'd give it a go. I don't know why I wasn't expecting it to be carbonated. I don't like carbonated drinks. I left it to go flat yesterday. I put the top off and I put it in my fridge, and I was like, when that goes flat, I'll drink it, because I really don't like fizzy drinks. I find them quite disgusting is too strong a word. I'm just forgetting all my words at the moment. Distasteful. I'm not a fan. So I was like, I'll let it go flat and I'll drink it as a nice cold drink tomorrow morning. It was still fizzy when I got home from work. I was like, damn man, the bottle makers, kudos. Kudos to you, you're doing the thing, keeping it fresh. But I tell you, when the sun finally dies and the earth falls into darkness, it'll be this bottle of kombucha still fizzy. I'm working on it anyway. Not the point of the video, but just a side ramble, here we go. Foodie does not have to be here. She doesn't have to be here. She is here, in my opinion, my humble opinion, which means nothing and is an opinion and not a fact, because I feel like we need to just very carefully say that, because slander. I think Nada's making her do this. I think whatever happened at the weekend, she now has to do damage control because he's telling her to. That's why she has to be here. We will get into it a bit later, but this thing of, you stalkers, now I have to talk about it. No, you don't. You could shut up and you could turn off the camera and you could never address it again. But here we are, you're choosing to do it.
I don't want to. I didn't want to.
I believe that. I believe she doesn't want to at all. I believe Nada's making her.
But, alas, I have to, because it is serious. I had a moment of weakness. Let me just remind you that what I'm going through with Natter is extremely serious and legal. Like, yeah, we don't treat it that way, but...
Yeah, and isn't that the problem, really? You don't treat it that way. So don't get mad at people that are following the breadcrumbs you leave when you've gone back and back and back and back, when there's not a restraining order, but there's a no contact order, and you are actively working to break it. So don't start with this. You've got absolutely no legs to stand on.
I don't treat it that way.
Yep.
So I have to be very careful what I say.
Yeah, because
And
Nada's pissed, I'm guessing.
hoping...
Not even pissed. I think he's... We'll get into it in a minute, I suppose. I think Nada has said, I will sneak around with you, but you gotta fix it. Foodie, fix it. And here we are.
To have a bit of privacy, but no, that didn't work out that way. I knew that Nader was going to be in Gatineau. I found that out, and I actually heard that he was like meeting up with somebody else or staying with somebody else.
You see how she's saying this? She's trying to remember a story she's been fed. If you can hear an echo in here, it's Nada. You can hear Nada's voice over this. He's fed her this.
Became psychotic, as usual, jealous, insane.
It's a kid
made a
reading
fucking
minds.
fool of myself. Like, I rented a hotel room.
She has made a fool of herself in multiple ways, but this is just one of them.
I'm a stalker. I feel like a stalker.
And that's going to be super helpful when all this goes to court, isn't it? Assuming it gets there, because who knows. She does mention he's going up for probation or something soon. I don't know if that's a review. I don't know what it is. But right now, I'm guessing he wants her discredited as much as possible, which is not a high or hard leap in any direction. And he wants her to deny it for him. And she wants to be with him, still, inexplicably. So... she's just lying to your face here. Just mark it. I know we've been new. I know it's not new behavior. But when she's like, what do I lie about? Remember this video.
Since that, I've been... okay, so this is like the second time I do edibles. But I'm just having trouble dealing with
Hasn't
the
she been
situation.
home for like 4 days or something at this point? Actually, I don't know where we are in the calendar.
You know, being back here, it's hard because then I think about him again and I become do you know what I mean? Do I still love him? Yeah, I do. I think that part of me will always love him.
Always love or just remain obsessed? Will he always be the one that got away even though he hasn't really gotten away?
No matter how fucked up and toxic we are together.
Yep, you are.
So, I know a lot of people are not going to believe me. That's why
No one with a brain, but we'll keep going.
I really didn't want to come on and say anything because I don't even know what to say anymore. Like, it was a fuck up. It's something that could get me in trouble, so I didn't want to talk about it.
Yep.
Gotta
But she's still here. You see? You remember when he made her apologise on camera? And by made her, he put the camera on and she was like, I was hoping this could be private. So you could see the wink we'll talk about in a moment as well. Like, she doesn't want to be here. She doesn't want to be incriminating herself the way she clearly is. But she will do anything. She'll go to any length to try and make it so there is a way in which those two can be together, even if he's not interested in that at all, really, but he'll string her along for it, because right now anything she does to damage herself helps him. So there we go.
hotel room for myself, and that's it. Oh, Ella's back. I forgot.
That's it. That's absolutely it. That's all that happened. That's the only thing that happened. It happened exactly that way.
Every time I unblock everybody, fucking Ella's back. No, just joking. Elle, people were asking for you. He is not allowed to be with me, so we're not allowed to be together right now, right? So I was trying to be smart and like, hey, I'm just gonna drop off like a key in his room.
I was trying to be smart, and this is the idea I came up with. Darling, you ain't smart. No. Nothing you've done for the past year has been a smart move in regards to this guy. Let's say that. I can't speak for your personal intelligence, but for your ability to learn from a mistake and how stubborn you've been and how obsessive you've been, we can speak to the evidence we've been shown.
And I'm just gonna rent a room nearby.
And he'll just wander in.
That was a bad idea, and that's why I didn't want to talk about it and come on here and freak out. I really wanted to do things differently after coming back from Cuba, not come online and rage about Nader.
So why didn't you?
And like freak out, like especially after the drunken rage I did about them. It was like,
Yeah,
okay,
that was a lot.
at any moment they can charge me for harassment. Like
literally they can. And I don't know if she's saying this again, you know how when she tries to make Nader feel bad and he's got no real feelings, so there's no way to do that. There are no feelings to change or to guilt. He doesn't have that sense in him. I think sometimes she says things to, like, yes, she's justifying to us, but she's also telling him, like, I know you can do this, but don't do this. Don't do this. And she just gives any power she has away immediately because she'll show, like, she's got no poker face. She's got no sense of strategy. She just got her immediate feelings and blurting them out on camera. That's all she's got here, and the lies that he's feeding her.
And they can charge me for like getting a hotel room. They can get me in shit. So it's like, I'm trying to just...
So is this the nuclear deterrent? Is this the fact, like, look, we've all got nuclear weapons, so nobody do anything or we're all going down together?
You know what I mean? It's over. It's done. I'm not going to talk about him anymore right now.
That's a lie.
I mean, unless, I don't know. I always say that, but then
Yeah,
I get in my feels. I mean, even it's so beyond, like, he's screwing how many other people in hotel rooms, I don't even fucking know.
Yep. And theoretically, so is she.
Shamelessly.
Shamelessly, but in her case.
Probably after, I don't know, I mean, I'm doing the same thing in Cuba, right? I was seeing Renee, so what do I have to say about it?
Yep, and again, that echo, it's Nada's voice.
Anyway, the whole thing, my whole behavior lately has been so fucking trashy. I need to go to a friggin'
trashy as
inpatient
trashy
hospital. So...
I kind of spoke over that. She's like, I need inpatient. She's throwing it out as a bone for anyone to support her. Because remember, I hope in post put the clip before my intro. She's going to manipulate you. She's going to be sweet as pie. She's going to pretend to kind of apologize. She's going to cry on camera. She's going to do whatever she needs to do, and you'll eat it up because you'll watch. And I am watching, so fair. I will watch it, yeah. But the idea that we don't see through it at the same time. She outright told us she was going to manipulate us. And here's the problem she has now, because again, she hasn't really thought this through. She keeps going between, on one hand, trying to defend what she said and justify it, and on the other hand, pretend she doesn't remember it. She's like, oh, I think I remember part of that, and I'm sure this is the reason why I said it. Really now? I'm sure not. I'm sure you got drunk, you're feeling invincible because you got your channel back and you will blur anything out online you want, and now you went so far, you can't even sit there and be like, sorry, you're just going, I'm making an apology video, leave me alone. Yeah, because that's the same thing.
Rats. I hope that you guys can appreciate, I'm really
I appreciate nothing when it comes to her, but we'll keep going.
stuck with what I'm allowed to talk about. Okay? That's where I have to leave shit for now.
She did not, in fact, leave shit there for now. She's stuck in her own brain. She's stuck by her own choices. She's stuck because she chooses to glue herself to the floor. That is how she's stuck. It is entirely a choice she makes.
I wish you guys understood how fucking messy this situation is.
Yeah, we do.
I really do.
Honey, anyone who's been in her community, anybody at all understands how messy this is. If there's one consistent part to her, she is infamously a mess. Yeah, anyone knows it.
I'm doing what I can. That's all I can say. I really wish you could understand.
We do.
Like this,
because this is exactly what you did before, remember?
shit's legal now. I can't just go and like say, hey, I did this and did this.
But you are, because you're online. It's exactly what you're doing, in fact.
Because it looks bad on me.
Yeah,
so
it looks bad. It looks terrible on you.
Like, be happy with your new bitch. Be happy with my new.
Yeah, because still, here's the thing. I've put a clip in somewhere, but a couple of live streams ago, she was like, I need a break from you know what, or something of the like. I'll put the clip in here somewhere.
I need to get away again, like, I need to get away to catch my drift.
So I believe they went to the hotel together. I believe that at some point in the weekend it went wrong, because inevitably it always does. They had a fight, they had an argument, something happened. Things didn't go exactly to her fairy tale fantasy, which is generally always the problem. He's made certain demands of what she needs to do. They got caught, and now he's like, fix it. And they're telling a terrible lie. Because what else can you say when you actually get caught doing a thing? So she's like, no, we were at the hotel, but you know, he went there of his own volition, possibly with someone else, and I got crazy jealous and I booked a room. Now don't get me wrong, it's not entirely off brand, let's say that. But I don't believe it for a second. I don't believe it for a second. Come on now, of course she was there. Of course they were there together. And when they got caught, he knew how much trouble he was going to be in, and now we have this video.
Man, my new real man. Calling the police is just going too far. Like, I'm like speeding away from the hotel. Fucking cops are blocking off fucking Grevere Street. Pull me over. Somebody said you're in danger. No, I'm not.
Can I say, like, aside from the fact that, hey, well, you reported to the police that it was an abusive situation and people would totally think you were in danger, well, people who weren't in our community and knew all the details, it would be a natural question, because you were speaking a lot about how scared you had been and how hard it had been. But did someone actually do that? I was assuming this was like a hypothetical story she was telling, like what you're gonna do, you're gonna do this. Did this actually happen to her? I was a little bit confused. Who's out here calling the police? Who's out here calling hotels for that matter? Like, guys, just back away. She's gonna do it to herself. Back away.
I'm okay. I'm a fucking danger to myself.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like, I don't agree with it. I wish she'd make more solid choices. I really do. Remember back in the beginning in my channel when I was so full of hope before the Nada arc, even at the beginning of the Nada arc, I was like, she must realize. Nobody in their right mind, but isn't that the key point? She must realize at some point. I was so full of hope, but nah, she'll do it to herself. She's a danger to herself, so just let it ride.
So like, he isn't allowed to be around you. Exactly. For now. Everything is for now.
Yeah, because she still harbors the fantasy that once they manage to sweep the legal shit under the rug, everything's going to be perfect.
I didn't see it. I didn't see him.
Those two things aren't the same.
I tried. No, Bree, there's no me and Nader. I'm going back to Cuba. I'm fucking living a life, moving on. It was a weakness. The fucking recording. Chantal Marie Olive Saville, room 231. I'll transfer you. Nice privacy, piece of shit hotel.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Like, I heard it on Twitter somewhere. But I'm sure hotels aren't meant to do that. Like, come on, dude. Come on, front desk, dude. That seems basic.
Tell people the room number of people or what? He's like, no, we don't do that. So I actually played the fucking clip for him and he had nothing to say.
This, I actually genuinely did laugh, just because it's so a thing I would do in this situation. Not that I get myself in this situation, but if I'm going to accuse someone of a thing and I'm mad, I'm going to bring some fucking receipts. You don't do this? Hey! The image of it and the guy just being like, oh, fuck. It gave me an actual laugh.
I'm like, what? That was the best quality hotel in Ghetto Gatineau. What do you want me to do about it?
Question about the best quality hotel on Ghetto Gatineau. So you say Nada booked himself in there and paid for it, I'm assuming? And then you just toddled along? You were like, oh, I heard, for the sake of a date, even though I've covered every bill he's ever had, he was shacking up with someone else there. So clearly, I'm not paying for it, because that would be crazy. So he paid for the best hotel in Gatineau for himself, and then you just happened to book a room next to him because you're a stalker. I feel like if he was going to pay for a hotel room to screw another woman, because presumably he's still staying with Dee Dee in Montreal, I guess, I'm assuming he wouldn't waste the money.
I don't know, Creek.
He'd go somewhere down market.
Piece of shit blew me off. I do things the right way. This is what really happened. He's a piece of shit. I don't care if he gets it. That's what really happened.
Yeah, she's convincing her.
You guys still love me? Shit face. This is my shit face when I do something.
Yeah. That's the face when she knows she's lying, she knows we know she's lying, and she's not about to admit it, but she knows it's not believable. So let's laugh about it, let's hang a lantern on it, and let's move on.
But I want you guys to love me anyway. It's been a long time and I just missed him, I guess. It's very serious. If we get caught together, we are in trouble, okay?
You see that intense eye contact? That is not us she's talking about. She's talking to Nada. We collectively are in trouble. Do you understand? It's important. Did he just threaten to be like, cards where they may, you're crazy, we'll just go to the police and figure it out? Is that what he threatened to do here? He was like, well, if you're going to tell everyone anyway, I'm just going to go to the police and say that you booked the room and you've been coming and I can't stop you. Because she's been in contact with him a lot. This is not the world's best screenshot, by the way. Sorry about the freeze frame. I mean, it would be a ballsy move. I don't think he wants anything to do with the police. But if it's inevitable that it's going to happen now, there's a lot of evidence of her being very much her that would work in his favour that I don't think she's willing to face the consequences of. She's done a lot of shit online. There's a lot of evidence there.
Do you understand that? So, what I did in private was trying to keep private. The fact that I was renting a hotel room, I was trying to keep that private. People stopped me. So that's why I'm talking about it today.
Yeah, so that's why she's doing it. So all of you people who wish her ill in the audience, and genuinely from my perspective, please don't do this, but she's basically sitting there daring people in the audience to do this, you know, by talking about how serious. I think she's speaking directly to Nada, but, you know, she obviously doesn't think of the wider ramifications. This is basically a dare for people to do things at this point.
I cannot be with him. I cannot talk about it. I'm going to put him in jail for seeing you. You think this is a joke? I have treated it like a joke. Yes, I have. This is like his life, you know? It's like somebody's life. I don't think I was taking it seriously enough. Like, I was just letting my emotions just, like, dictate my actions. Like,
I mean, that's not a new thing about her at all. But this, I wasn't taking it serious enough. Remember he was, like, chastising her while she apologized in his apartment? Like, doesn't it have the same ring to it? Doesn't it?
100%. Like, just anything I was feeling. And that night with my rage, anything black I was harboring inside of me came out that day. Everything. Just everything.
Yeah. And what I'm hearing from that is, and again, we've been new, that she was harboring it. She's not saying these aren't all things that I think, feel, and consider, but usually I'm a tiny bit better at not blurting it out and telling all my subscribers to go fuck themselves. Usually. Not always, but usually. But, you know, I'd had a drink, so woohoo!
From fucking 3 wet candles to Roman to whatever.
To whatever. Whatever is the problem, yeah?
How do you deal with the fact that you're never ever going to see somebody ever again?
And again, the manipulation. Sympathize with me. Sympathize. I haven't cut down any of the COVID stuff, but she's got COVID, yeah? She's taken a test. I don't think she would have faked a test. You can get those faded lines. But frankly, whether she's faked it or whether it's actually real, because she does seem to be sick, it doesn't actually matter because her purpose in how she's showcasing it is the same. COVID is just an ER visit by another name. Yeah, it's just another point of saying, hey, all this shit I've done, I've got COVID, you guys. Oh, my heart is broken, you guys. How do you reconcile yourself to the heartbreak? Because I think in her head now, this legal business that she initiated, and she told us she had initiated for good reason, it's become, they are now star-crossed lovers. They're being kept apart by the forces of the world. This is not Romeo and Juliet, although there's an equal chance of them both ending up dead at this point. But this is not Romeo and Juliet, yeah? You haven't been betrayed by the world and kept from each other in your eternal love story. This is just you being an idiot.
Because you can. It's hard, you know? Like, treat it like a death. That's what I can't deal with. That's what I can't deal with. Like, I just wish people understood. I know people do, and it's like, and people are like, we understand, but girl, you have to get over it.
Yeah.
I just fucking can't. You know,
Let me cry for you. I'm serious. I have emotions. So fucking what? So did all the people that you insulted that day you got drunk. But erase that and sympathize with me. I need sympathy. You've used up your sympathy with your audience, and now here we are.
but it was okay. Like, I thought going to Cuba.
Also, I'm very tired of this storyline. Jesus.
It's just like, no matter where I go.
There you are. No matter where you go, if the problem is you, you're gonna be there.
Like, having sex with Renee was fuck all.
Remember how hot it supposedly was?
Orgasm or anything. It was just procedure. Yeah, you're so hot. Not giving a giving a shit about him. So I'm making small talk with Renee, but it's like forced. Like, he's like, I love you. Like, no, you don't. You don't fucking love me. You love that I gave you a laptop. And that's fine. I mean, what do I expect? You can't buy love.
I mean, you've been mistaking giving people shit when they don't care for love for the past year. It's nothing new for you.
You can't buy love.
Why do you
don't
keep
love
trying?
me. Don't lie to me. You fucking liar. I'm tired of being lied to by these people.
On one hand, this is very... I wanted to say this is very Miss Havisham. You can imagine her in a wedding dress in like 50 years. He abandoned me. That kind of thing. But on the other, it feels quite calculated. You know? I'm going to sit here and I'm going to stare out the window and the light's going to hit my face and look at my tragedy, look at my heartbreak. It just feels a bit overdone. But she's not known for her acting, so...
At least Renee faked it. Natter's ego won't let him fake fuck all. Can't fake love you because he doesn't love anyone but himself.
True.
No, that's not. Anyway.
That's true.
Fake it!
And isn't that really it? If he would just fake it better, how happy they would be.
I know I was doing well in Cuba. That's why I want to go back.
When was she doing well in Cuba? Did we watch a completely different holiday? She was not doing well in Cuba. She had several lengthy examples of her not doing well in Cuba. You guys. The only brownie point, that feels wrong. The only credit I will give her is the fact that she actually did the trip. Yeah? I was saying I thought she would because she booked it last minute. I would like her to travel more. I believe in broadening your horizons. I think it's a great experience if you can do it. But I was doing great in Cuba. The hell, prove it, madam, because the footage we have is very different.
I want to go back to Cuba. Fuck.
You just forgetting
People
what Cuba was?
invading my fucking privacy made me come on here and do this.
No. People invading your fucking privacy made Nada make you come on and do this. You're forgetting that, middleman.
You put me in a fucking corner. Seriously, you did. I did not want to talk about this shit.
Well, I imagine Dee Dee's mom doesn't want to talk to people either, but here we are.
Like I said, this is fucking serious legal shit. I can't just like come on here and be like, no. I'm getting in trouble.
Yeah.
I bragged about manipulating people. I was being sarcastic. I think I remember saying that.
Oh, you think? You don't remember it, but in this case, when you want to defend yourself, you definitely remember it, but maybe.
And I was being sarcastic because that's exactly what you fucking expect to hear, I'm pretty sure.
Fuck off. No. This is what she's come up with again, with days to think about it. I cannot undo what I did. I can't delete it off the internet because people have it. It was awful. I can't erase it. I was being sarcastic. I wasn't being serious. I was playing some kind of 4D chess in my head where I was anticipating what you thought I was going to say in the worst possible way because of your reflection of my actions, which are actually just based on your interpretation of my actual actions. I was saying it because you expected to hear it. Fuck you. fuck you. Absolutely not. I do not accept this. Motion denied. You know what you did. You know what you did, and there is no undoing it.
No, it was a nice thing to say, though. I'm working on an apology. Leave me alone.
Yeah, because as long as I'm working on it, it'll definitely happen and you shouldn't question me. Because I'm working on it, you guys, and that's the same as doing it. Or rather, I'm thinking about working on it, but that's the same as doing it.
It's just messed up. Like,
let me cry a little bit
no
more.
matter what I do, it's like I have to go through some kind of emotional torment.
Adult emotions are not emotional torment. That is shit you do to yourself. You don't know how to function on any adult emotional level. You have no mature executive skills in your emotional toolbox. Yes, you don't have them. So everything feels like agony when you're expected to make what is a very clear-cut choice when it comes to just stay away from this guy. Yeah? And that's what it comes down to, just stay away, because you are choosing to be there. The trouble that you are pretending, maybe actually scared of, maybe just manipulated into being scared of because Nada's been talking to you. Who knows? Lots of ways you could put that. But the stuff you're saying, it's down to you. You are choosing to put yourself in the situation that could get you in trouble. And who knows? Maybe it will. Maybe down the line, the police will look at this and they'll be like, the fuck you been doing, woman? And maybe there'll be some consequence for you because you did actually make a legal step to try and ruin his life. And I'm not saying, dude, I'm not saying there wasn't stuff going on back then. I'm saying, look at yourself now, because you will both come under scrutiny here.
I'm in a limbo right now. It's like, if it's done for good, I have to grieve that.
Grieve the emotion that I feared enough to report to the police. I've got to grieve it.
I thought, my delusional brain thought whatever relationship it was. It's so hard for me because if there's things I'm so open with you guys, especially
She's
about
so
the
honest.
subject. And then if I go and try to be secretive about things that I do, you guys feel betrayed and lied to, and it's so hard because, like...
It's not hard. We feel lied to because you lied to us. There's a really easy way to fix that. Stop doing that.
Sometimes I just want the privacy, you know what I mean?
Sometimes I just want to hide things that I know are wrong.
He's gonna do his thing, I'm gonna do my thing here. We're gonna we're gonna travel, but...
When she says we, does she mean me and the audience? Because that sounded for a minute like me and Nada, and I was like, the what?
Gonna be in a relationship with him because, like I said, like, we can't be, so that's why I have to, like, really...
Star-crossed.
Like, a part of me feels like once we're able to be together, we'll be able to, like, casually have, like, a sexual relationship.
Didn't mean to press the button then, sorry. Do you hear this? At some point she mentions, like, still the fantasy of them, like, getting married and him learning to be less him and them all figuring it out, which was a fantasy she had early on. But this, we'll still be able to casually have say, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
But it's like, I don't want to let go.
Your tears do nothing for me, you know? I mean, every time you do them, I think back. I think back to that rage in Cuba when you were insulting everyone and everything and you didn't give a fuck because all the visas are replaceable. And then I remember you saying, I'm going to manipulate the fuck out of you and you're going to eat it up. And then I look at this and I go, Foodie's crying. I'll just hold my breath until she finishes, shall I?
I had such a good time, like, in Toronto, but then also, like, he was such a good boyfriend when we went to the jail. We went to the jail together, did the haunted thing together. He was really funny.
Well, but fortunately, the stars seem to be aligning. You may enjoy jail together at some point again.
He was really, really funny. And it was so fun. This is all you, like... Oh, see? This is what I'm gonna do for the rest of the night, is probably cry.
Oh, give her some sympathy. Look, she's got tears in her eyes. She's holding them there for you to make sure the light shines off of them. Give her sympathy.
Crying over you all fucking day.
Yeah. If only the... Oh, ooh, sorry. That was the end of that, but I was about to say, oh, if only there was some way you could stop, yeah? If only you didn't have full control of this situation. I'm really... One of the reasons I've been taking a step back isn't just for busyness, it's because she's been very much herself recently. But there's been so much of it, like you have to say something, but... Ugh. That's basically it. What? Why? The point of Cuba was like a fire break. You stop the disaster in its tracks, but instead the disaster was her. And there we are. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I find myself, as much as I don't want massive legal consequences to happen to her, but I do want her to have consequences for these choices she makes. I don't want anything terrible to happen, but I want there to be consequences. And who knows, maybe the legal stuff will lead to a consequence she can't avoid. But she is 100% manipulating. And actually, I was looking for this timestamp so hard. I'm so sorry, guys, I couldn't find it. But I apologize to whoever it was in Twitter that I stole this from, but somebody posted it. Somebody put into her chat, I'll put it somewhere on screen, wink if he's making you lie for him. And she gave a properly exaggerated wink as she was blowing her nose and then smiled into the camera like that and moved to the one side. So 100%, even before she'd done that, 100% this is being fed to her by Nada. Why she continues to do this like it's going to end any better for her, God only knows, but then any small mediocre of common sense would tell her that, which is maybe why she's struggling. All right, that was a bit harsh. I'm quite tired. It's been a long day. I've been dealing with a lot of my own shit. I got so much for work and it's dwindling. I got so much for the visa process, which is slightly more hopeful, but it's still quite demanding. And then we've got this. All right, we'll see what she does next. Who knows? That live that was going when I started recording might have turned something up. I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye, everybody.